Here we go. Vikings versus Enthroners. I have to put out all my stuff. This is obviously going to go live and it's going to be on the channel afterwards. But I still have to put all the stuff telling people that I'm live. So if you are watching this already, or if you're watching it like a rebroadcast, that is currently what I'm doing. But this is going to be a game. We've got the records. Obviously it's week 1, so no pressure on the records. Of course, you have a couple of players I'm just kind of interested in seeing on the screen. So that should help with that, give some players that you might not know. There are other players that are obviously not listed, but I'm still excited to see. So don't read too much into it. It's just some of the players that I'm excited for. I'm trying to just make sure the stream's working, obviously, and making sure we're all good, which I think we are. So let me put on all the socials that we are live, because the game is still just in the early stages, so don't have to worry too much about that. Let's go and get like the actual URL, which is proving to be difficult as I cannot find my YouTube IRL, but we will get there. There we go. Excellent. They're all doing the stuff, so no stress. No rush on this one. A lot different to my commentary that I did for the CEFL. This is not going to be a commentary style. This is literally just going to be me watching the game with everyone. Hopefully people will drop in and we can see a few conversations, which would be very good. But yes, so Handshakes coming in. Not any stress at all. I do think that the line I saw there was plus 26. I think that is realistic. I think some people were kind of surprised there's plus 26. I am not. I think there will be quite one-sided towards the Vikings. I'm excited obviously to see Ben Holmes is obviously the main one that people are talking up with being the MVP candidate, which is possible because he does have great experience. I do like the bigger names on the jersey of the Vikings too. Big fan of that. And I'll be keeping track of the comments on my YouTube, on my TV, which is behind me. Which you can't see. I'm going to put the most yeah. My advertisements for the actual games are not great. I haven't got sound on, just so I can. I never really watch tape with the commentators on. To be completely honest, I kind of will usually watch it muted, so that I'm not like swayed by commentary bias. Which I'm not saying the commentators in the ELF are biased. It's just I don't know. I don't really care too much about the commentary, if considering I'm just here to watch the players and play ball. But considering that they've not started their handshakes or anything, I imagine the commentators will come in later, so I don't think that'll be a huge thing. Let me turn my light as well. It's quite hot in the UK at the moment, so I am in sweat. Do not expect me to be extremely high quality, but I've got my Pepsis, I've got some Oreos that I've nearly just fist all over my fucking laptop. Yeah, but ELF week 1. We waited a while for this too. It has been a minute since we have had ELF football. I think last year, I watched probably 90% of the games, probably more than that, 90% of the games or so. And then the off season, I think I've watched every game again at least twice. Just for like preparation for these kind of games, but it's a life of a scout, man. Like, honestly, just film watching constantly every day. But we do have some clouds. It might hurt me running no commentary when it comes to referee calls, but that's kind of a risk I'm willing to take because we're just going to have to go with that and just kind of see what goes on. Test my knowledge on signals as well, but obviously we're not going to have the the game on because it'll just slow the stream down, and I will get copyright struck to hell if I show any part of the game. So it is just going to be this, which I hope you're all good with. Obviously, this is a watch long. This isn't like official commentary, and this isn't like partnered with the ELF at all. This is just me wanting to watch the game and perhaps talk to some people along the way. It has been a while though. They've been waiting on these captain's handshakes for a good 5 minutes. I'm surprised they haven't done anything with that yet. Should be a good game though. I think the Enthroners, I really do like the Enthroners jerseys. I'm not gonna lie. I think they might be one of my favorite jerseys in the entire ELF. Like, I love the dark blue. I love the gold. I love the white and gold. I think the white and gold is awesome. It's up there with my favorite ones, which is pretty damn cool. It's just the Vikings ones are new, and I do like them. Like I said, I like see right there, if you're watching at the same time as I am with Benjamin Straight's jersey, some of the like names go over the stripes, which I don't like that much. And then with Milanovic's jersey, it wasn't like that. So they're not completely uniform. Whereas the Fehérvár ones, I think I'm saying that right, Fehérvár. That's just me being nitpicky. I'm honestly just grateful that it's not just another blue team or a red team. I know it's purple, so it's literally the middle colour of mixing in the two of them. But honestly, purple. If we have another team come into the league, whether that's Amsterdam or London or Stockholm or wherever, as long as they're not blue or red, I'm fine with it. I think if there was a London team, it probably would be blue and red. It would make sense that it was blue and red. But I'd like to see something a bit different. You know, Monarchs have blue and red, so it makes sense that they would too. I would just like to see maybe a black one. I know the Warriors playing black, but you know, Bristol's been linked. I don't think that's going to happen. Potentially, but I don't think it will. Yep, game delayed, technical difficulties. I called this on my Twitter, it would be delayed, but I didn't think it would be for technical difficulties. Hopefully it won't be too long. But I guess we'll find out. It shouldn't be that bad. Unfortunately though, my YouTube isn't. There we go. There it is. Just so I can make sure nothing's going on in the background that I need to be concerned about, because that'd be a bit of a nightmare. Obviously all these like names and stuff, I want to shout out ELFopedia, so their website is going to be linked in the description when I sort that out. But you know, if you're on this channel, then you probably know about ELFopedia anyway. There's Nichols. I actually think Nichols might be one of like the most like underrated DBs that I'm actually really excited to see. I think that he's potentially a really, really good player. Off the dome, I can't remember where he went to college or anything off the top of my head, but when I was watching tape, I was impressed. And they do look clean though. Those jerseys do look real clean. I'm also a sucker for like the sponsorships. Like I like it when a team has a bunch of sponsorships, like the old Brazilian, like for European football, having like the Brazilian kits, like the bunch of sponsors. I think it's so sick. So I like having like the sleeve sponsors, the Power Fusion one in the middle. I like the 28 black on the back of their back plates. I'm like so into that kind of stuff. So just waiting for the kickoff. It's a shame that we've had week one. Week one is delayed, but it is what it is. I'm expecting Alex Malchow to come in at some point and talk up Holmes. That is going to be an inevitability if he tunes in, which I imagine he'll stop by. There we go. Handshakes are up. Handshakes are up. Milanovic, Benjamin Straight, Horvda, and of course Holmes. And then we got Mangle, Regan. Is that Toth? No, it's not Toth. Neander Toth is actually a pretty underrated receiver as well. I know yes, it is Toth. I use a lot of like underrated. I say that probably every time I talk about a player. But Toth was like the Triple Crown winner in the domestic league like 2 years ago. Of course, the ELF was cruel. the team with the Enthroners, obviously, it's never going to be great for, at least a couple seasons until they get more of a youth system come in. But Toth is one of those players I think is solid, and I would like to see him kind of flourish a little bit more, because I know that he can. He won a Triple Crown. Like, whatever league you talk about, Hungary doesn't have like an amazing domestic league, but to win a Triple Crown in any league is impressive. Johari Regan is like super solid, and I know that he is like Hungarian citizenship at this point. He's been over there for years. Mangle as well, I'm really excited to see him play, because obviously the big thing coming in, it's been turnovers. Including myself, I've been concerned about the turnovers. 19 and 18 in college it's not great, to be honest. Well, I mean, it's bad, let's be real, it's not good. So for him to come into Europe, Concordia is D2, D3? I can't remember where. I think Concordia is D2. So it's a step up. Like, it is a step up, because he's going to be playing people who have played D1. Or people like Milanovic could have been a D1 offensive lineman, but they just, either found football later or just weren't given that, opportunity when they were college eligible. But like, if you tell me Milanovic couldn't have been a D1 player, I'm just going to have to disagree. But here's the kickoff. I love the kickoff rules well. I like how they changed, because the first year, people forget the first year that ELF didn't have this kickoff. It was like a normal traditional kickoff. And now it's this one that has been adapted by the NFL. I did a whole video about that in Burrell, and just how he could kind of translate to that. But I am excited. I'm like nervous. I don't have much investment in this game from because I'm always going to cheer on the people that I know, which I think is pretty normal. I don't think I particularly know a bunch of guys, like personally, on either of these teams. I do know Henry. Henry Roland and tight end for Fehérvár. Here we go. Kickoff is up. Imagine Xavier Edwards is back there. I can't exactly see, but he is going to return it. Here he comes. No, it's not. It's Nichols. I told you he was good. I told you he was good. Like, I told you Hunter Nichols is good. Immediate return to like the 50-yard line. Yeah, that looks solid. He moves well. Oh, just noticed the helmets as well. The Vikings helmets. I forgot they kind of like tweaked that a little bit. I just like the jerseys are super clean, and so are the helmets. I just wish they kind of sorted the logo out a little bit better. Starting at like the 45 is huge. I said about them, like the Enthroners have to win special teams. I think that is not a good start to them winning special teams. Traore, I'm so excited to see Traore as well. Is Ben Holmes. Solid off the mark. There's Rodion as well, coming back from injury. It's Traore. What am I saying? I fucking told you that this guy is legit. Like, he's legit good. Like, I'm not saying like he's a guy that might get a few catches a game. I'm saying no, Traore could be a superstar in this league. And Throws playing like pretty high up. There we go. There's Kerry. They're already kind of moving the ball pretty easily. There's Beerbaumer as well. I was actually a little bit surprised they signed Beerbaumer. Not for like his level of ability. Obviously he's fucking incredible. But they have another tight end who is really good. I'm blanking the name of. Let me get my like ELFpedia cheat sheet up. And watch the snap too. Ben Holmes again. Looks like he's going to deflect to the line. Not too bad. Good by the D-line. Where are they? Vikings. There we go. I'm sorry that I'm blanking. Oh, he's not listed. He was listed yesterday. They might have released him. He used to play for the Raiders. I can't remember his name at the moment, but he was at the Raiders last season and was effective. Like, I was surprised they brought him in and then got in Beerbaumer as well. But obviously, Beerbaumer is the better of the two. That was a good play. With the interior line. The offensive line for like the Vikings is so good. Hullab, I've known for a few years. Ooh. Jordan Boer getting involved. Another elite receiver. Noticing a fantasy change when I watch this game. I'm not a big fantasy guy, I must admit. Even with the Premier League, like I have a Premier League fantasy league with my friends, but the rule of the Premier League fantasy league is that you can't change players, because I'm such a bad person at like changing my fantasy league. So I'm not gonna lie, I probably will just have this first week, and then I won't change my team ever again. I'm not gonna lie. That has been a regular occurrence of me with fantasy. I just can't really like get into it a lot. I know some people are really into it. They're coming out quick. Oh, just off the tip, so a bit high up for Jordan. I just, some people love fantasy. Some people don't care too much about it. I'm just not like huge, Like it's fine. I think it's good. I can see the appeal. I know why. I can see why people like it, because it is fun. It does make you like root for other players that you maybe not necessarily would have rooted for. Like, I don't know, just kind of struggle for myself to really indulge in it. But Frey is also another solid tie. Like the Austrians know how to make good tie-ins. The Austrians and the Dutch. Look at that line. There's Kerry coming in again. Like the Austrians and the Dutch both make really good tie-ins. I've thought about making it as a video of like which country produces the best in X, Y, Z positions. Like the UK, for example, doesn't produce a bunch of elite receivers. So that's been the thing of what people would talk about with like the ELF London team, is the receiver quality is not great, so they'd have to bring in ease, which is fair. But like the offensive line for the UK is incredible. Like you look at the offensive line, I think that it's the best of most teams, if not all of them. Oh. That's a bit of a spanner in the works. It was a good drive, but it kind of stalled out at the end. Put 4 Vikings in my week 1 lineup. Kerry, Bajarin in. Western Car, Beerbomb, Holmes. Yeah, so Kerry I'm a big fan of. I've said it again. I've talked about Kerry before on the channel a lot, about how good Kerry is. And he was one of the players I was really excited to see him come in, because I've known him for a while. Weston Carr is not, for me, a top 10 American receiver in the league. He's probably better than a lot of the Europeans, but I was somewhat surprised when they signed Weston Carr back. He was injured I think he was meant to start like the first year, got injured, and then got injured in the second year. So, not that he has something to prove to me, because like, who the fuck is Matt Preston compared to Weston Carr? But I was somewhat surprised. Beer Bomber, we know he's going to light up the stat sheet, we know he's an elite blocker. And blocking doesn't really come up in fantasy. That's the issue. But Beer Bomb is a very good blocker for like as a position. And then Holmes is going to be really, really good in terms of his numbers, because he's playing not necessarily the highest competition. Now the Enthroners are not going to be great, to be honest. But they may surprise them. Here's Kerry again. Well, there you are, Anderson. You've got yourself some fantasy points with a Kerry Bajarin and touchdown. Light work. He was barely even touched. Maybe could have picked Boer. No, Jordan Boer is outstanding, but with the receiver core for the Vienna Vikings is really good. So, like, is Boer going to get... I don't think Boer will get 1,000 yards. He may do. He may prove me wrong. There's just quite a lot of, like, cooks in the kitchen when it comes to the receiver core. Like, Seydou. Noah, rather, not Seydou. Although his name, I think it is Noah Seydou Traore. And then Seydou Traore is a British tight end that plays in D1. He went from Arkansas, so I always get those two round the wrong way. But Noah is going to get catches. Obviously, Carey's going to get a lot of the ball. Schumacher is going to get a lot of the ball. So I wouldn't be surprised. But there we go. The clock's wrong, but yeah. So the Wigan brothers, I think Anton is retired. I think. Don't take that for gospel. And then Flo is over in the AFL. And then Raphael, they kind of move out as a running back and as a receiver. When I went to see Raphael for the first time, was with the Austrian team in Vienna. I loved Vienna. Like, it's probably my favourite city I've ever been to. And I was watching the Under-19 championships, and Raphael was one of the players. I think he won MVP in the game that I saw all of them that played in that weekend, but his standout performance, he was MVP in the game. He looked excellent. I knew from then that he was going to be like a serious player. But now we get to see Mangle, for the first time. I've had mixed reports as an ELF insider. Some people say Mangel's doing really well. Some people said, Mangel's not doing excellent. What's up, Nick? How you doing, brother? I thought you'd be doing commentary for the league, to be honest. It is Robbie time. Let's see how Robitaille does. Let's see this return first. Starts pretty short. It is Roby time. And don't sleep on Samuel. I've seen Samuel's footwork in person. Samuel is fast. Samuel's got like a slighter build. He's a little bit like, he's maybe 170, 180. But he's got some burners. Like I've seen Samuel in person. He has excellent ability. And he's really bought in as well. Like from overheard conversations and brief conversations with him, he's like really bought into playing in the Enthroners, which I think is like really good, because the Enthroners have had difficulties, over the last season and a bit, and seems that may continue. Damn. Shit. They've had difficulties. Immediately fumbles. This game has no English commentary. I thought they had English commentary for every game. I swear they did that last season. They had English commentary for every game. I know they do it for like the regional places in Hungarian and in German. And I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between German and Austrian, like Austrian German and German German. I'm sure there is a lot of differences, and I'm sure a lot of people would be able to educate me about, but brother, I don't understand a lick of German. When I went over to Austria, I learned ein, zwei, drei, so I could learn the down, and that's so I could learn the downs. That was literally it. But that is not a good start. One play, one fumble. No commentary. Yeah, Roby time was real short. Roby time was that. That was Roby time. Man, I kind of do think they should have maybe not like to discredit the center. It's been one snap, but center, as me and Jamal have talked about, center is such a light position in Europe. We got tackles, we got guards, we got a load of tackles and guards. But there's not that many centers. Like you got obviously Matthew Daltrey, fellow Brit. He's Scottish though. I'm English. The centre position here, he's an all-star. We lost Joachim is so fucking good. Like, if you haven't watched like full games, and just there's Kerry again, if you haven't watched full games and just looked at how good Joachim was, please go back and just watch some of the old like fire tape. Joachim is so good. Yeah, Kerry's going for like 7 or 8 a carry at the moment behind that big offensive line. Who they got playing at guard? Is that Koskinen, the Finnish player playing at guard? I'm pretty sure. Which I think is a good move. And they got Lucas, they got Milanovic, they got Daltrey. Who's that other guard? I'm struggling on there. And who to remember? There's Traore, defended by Rodion. I'm happy that Rodion's back too. Like, I like Rodion. He's a good guy. Obviously, he had his injury last year, like this time last year, week 1, for like got injured while getting the pick, which is such a shame. But when I went over to the Netherlands, he looked really solid. Was playing well, playing fast. Like the injury doesn't seem to have affected him much. But to have, he got a little bit grabby there. But to have Traore like lining up on Rodion, who's a fucking all your left talent, that's pretty crazy. Like, his Salzburg tape is good as Kerry again. Like, look at the space he has, and Kerry is a real good running back. Like if I'm doing players that have like really high talent, really high production, and then like not as much recognition, it's Kerry Pajarinen. And I'm probably saying his name wrong, but like Finnish running backs are really good. You got Kerry, and then you got another Pajarinen. I'm not sure if they're brothers, but he played for the U19 team. I just did the Wonder Kids with Askolov, but another player that ran all over the GB team in 2021 or 2022 on the Under-19 championships was Pajarinen, the running back, but in Kerry. There's Jordan. Oh, man, he's so good. He's just scored another touchdown. Man, Jordan Bill is good. Do you see the extension on that catch? Shit. He is so good. I want to see a replay of that. Damn. Oh, I'll show us a replay of that. Play with Kerry. Yeah, like he's a savage. Where did he play in the GFL? I'm forgetting. Was it wasn't Dresden, was it? No, it wasn't Dresden. Because Nico Barrow plays in Dresden, and I've stood on this before as an opinion. Nico Barrow is a top 5 running back in Europe. Like he's better than a lot of the players in the ELF. He's another Finn. He's young too. Easy. Oh no, it's wide. Damn. Like I think that Nico knows the ELF broadcast, but it's not ELF sponsored, so I can kind of say what I want. Nico Barrow is. Well, actually, we just first watch this. That's good progression reading there by Potsdam. That's the one. Good progression reading there by Ben Holmes. Like because he was looking at Seydu there. Changed his mind. Throws. That's a pretty ball. Ah, that was quite good actually. I know Alex somewhere in Europe or America. Alex Malchow is going crazy. Somewhere. I'm not sure where he's at, but somewhere in the world he's going crazy. Yeah, he was at Potsdam. So I think that Nico is maybe a bit better. I think Nico's honestly not generational because he's not an NFL player, but he's certainly up there with the best. I think if you put Nico behind an ELF offensive line, I think that he can get 1,000 yards. Right, Roby time 2. They're losing special teams also. It's Benjamin Strait, another underrated player. Yeah, man, I said they need to lose. They need to win special teams. They've kind of lost every single snap on offense and special teams. They allowed a 50-yard return, and then they didn't have the best return. And now they're at the 10, or maybe the 11 or 12 if they're being generous. All right, Roby time part 2. Oh, Noah Swancourt 0. Look out for 0. He's gonna be good. Here we go. Isn't like the main running back from the Hungarian team injured too? I feel like I remember seeing that like quite early in the preseason stage. I don't even think he made it to camp. There's Henry Rowland, UK, the only Brit I think. Well, no, Matthew, of course, one of 2 Brits playing in this one. That was a good catch. Got lit the fuck up with a good catch. I do not hope this one comes into a blowout, but I think that it is kind of looking that way so far. That was a damn good catch by Neander, who I talked about earlier. And it was Hunter Nichols, who I talked about earlier. Ooh, it's taking a shot. That was good. No back shoulder fade. Nice. That's positive. They need those kind of players. I think I've watched too much tape. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the Hungarian name, but I haven't seen too much of him. I haven't watched a bunch of Enthroners tape, to be honest, because last year was not good. So there are going to be some players I haven't necessarily seen too much of. But he looks he had a good route there. It's another catch. I mean, they're making completions, but like a couple of these, there's Roby. A couple of these completions are only for like a yard, maybe negative yards. Roby needs a bit of space. Short screens. I'm not sure if inside routes are going to work. Because Nando's a super good inside guy. And then they've just got like people like where's Benjamin? Yeah, Benjamin Strait's playing safety. He can come down and is effective as like a nickel player. Of course, Roby is like faster than all these guys. And flags are up. But I think if you want to get Roby the ball, I think you do it with screens, outside plays, where you can just use that speed. Yeah, but there are positives so far. They're moving. They had their pretty awful start, but you know, It's improved. It's hard to not improve from a one-play fumbled snap and then a turnover. That's what I mean. Those are short 1 yard gains. Oh, damn, he was already wincing. Leon Ball as well. Yeah, like Roby is, like you pointed out, Nick, with Roby in his screen in the championship game. Like he's rapid. I'd like to see what his official numbers are, like speed wise. He's probably like a 4.5. Oh, bear with. Yikes. So Mangle was a quarterback in Concord, and he was never great. Like he don't believe he played his freshman year, which is fine. And then his sophomore year he played a bit and didn't get much production. And then his third year, junior year, I think he got injured. Not positive on that, but he didn't play as much. And in his senior year, he got 18 touchdowns and 19 interceptions. That was one of the main things I was concerned about is with he's what, 24? I think he's 24. Like, this is his first year outside of college, I believe. Ooh, nice, good snag. Who was that? Tooth again, Neander. Told you. I watched these guys, man. Like, he was a Triple Crown winner in a couple of years back. Like, he was a damn good receiver. He just wasn't used very much last year. But you can trust him in those reliable situations. He's got good hands. But yeah, Mangle's like, he's young, so I think they kind of have to advanced age is crazy. I know you're like the same age, but yeah, probably 4.5, which is, like you say, it's good for someone of his experience, advanced experience. He holds that ball low though. Like, he holds that ball low. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it was kind of a. I looked at it and I was a bit like, okay. I mean, it's interesting. Like that ball's a little wobbly. I'm not saying like that's, a sign that he's not going to be a successful ELF quarterback, but the expectation I think is they have to commit to him long term. Like he cannot be there for a year. Like he has to be on a multiple year contract. Because if they see something in him they can develop, then they have to do it. Like they can't just have a guy come in for 1 year with those numbers and not do very well, because then it's gonna like have pie on the face of all the people that bought him in. They've got to at least have like a plan. You'd think they have a plan. That was very nearly blocked, but turned out to be a semi-decent punt. Some people fighting on the floor. That's a nice visor. I love the ELF visor rules. Like, I love the ELF visor rules. I know that like the NFL don't allow the visors, or college don't allow the visors, because you got to be able to see their eyes for concussion protocol. I'm not sure exactly what the case is when it comes to ELF and the rule sets on that, but I love the visor rule. It looks so good. Like the dark blue with those jerseys always clean. The silver, of course, always going to look clean. Jadrian's like silver, yeah, like an orange one I think at some point. Harlan Quofi had a really nice one. Like the visors just make for like Malik Stanley's red visor. It's like, I miss Malik Stanley. I've never actually really spoken to Malik, but damn, I'm a massive fan of Malik Stanley's like game. There's Beer Obama as well. Be interested to see how he does while we talk about that, because Kerry's just went on another 10-yard run. Like, I'm excited to see how Beer Obama does this year, because he's had all the development from the NFL. He's going to had to have been with like high-level coaches, so he's surely going to have picked up some stuff. I know he had his ACL injury, not last year, but the year before, which kept him out. But he's had like the best coaching that he could have possibly had. So hopefully we'll see a step up from an already the best tight end in the league in my opinion, and hopefully we'll see a step, which is pretty damn good. Yeah, that's a good point actually. I completely forgot about the Enthroners D line. He's not stopping the line at all. Because he got Crenshaw, which I think is 55. I put it on my 55. Which I was not like I was okay. I think there are better defensive ends. Like you see him against Milanovic there. Milanovic just got him because Milanovic is an elite tackle, like an elite tackle. He came from a GFL2 team, which I'm not saying you can't come from a GFL team and have success. I think there's probably a bunch of players. I think, who was it? There was a GFL2 team, and they came like last year, or the year before. It was insane. There's been a bunch of them. Oh, there you go. Rookie of the year right there. I told you he was good, man. Some people don't listen to me. I told you he was good. I've been saying this. That's why I picked him for Rookie of the Year. I missed last year's Rookie of the Year, but I have a real good track record when it comes to Rookie of the Year. I predicted it on multiple occasions, years before they become ELF players. Like, I wrote about Gerald Alman, I wrote about Kev Fortes, like, years ago. I did a whole video about Marco Schneider. That was like the first, I believe the first video on this channel where I did my voiceover was Marco Schneider. That was a good throw, though. Not sure what happened, reels it in, shows some speed, like, he's not as fast as Rodion. Did he get down to the 1? That's unfortunate. That's super unfortunate. Down to the 1. Just give this to Kerry, surely. Like you said, Nick, they ain't stopping it. Like, Jabari Regan is a very good defensive player in this league. I don't think that's a bad signing. He is older. Like, he's played around the block. He's played in the X League. I think he's played in multiple European countries. I might be wrong in that one, but he's been around. He can't do it on his own. Teddy Adelaide isn't on this team anymore. And they got the Lithuanian dude from the Raiders, which was surprising. But interior D line is you got the real good guys, and you got like a little bit of a fall off. Yeah, this is such a heavy set. This is just going to go to Kerry. There you go. Easy as you like. Easy as you like. First quarter. There's a stream. You can watch the stream on it's just ELF. You have to go on the ELF website for the actual stream. I won't be able to show on this, otherwise I'll get like I'll get in big trouble for trying to attempt to like live stream the games. I'd get in big trouble, which I'm not obviously gonna do. But if you want to watch the stream, you have to go on like the ELF website, and you have to pay for it, which is like, it makes sense. You know, it can be a pay-per-view thing. It could be he's missed the second kick. Yikes. The website is not too hard to find. Like, it is just there, whereas like the GFL one's a little bit harder to find. That's why I haven't done like I really want to do a Jason Matthews Sash video, because I was with Jason in UE. And I know how good he is. And then he's went into the Unicorns, which Nick will know how good the Unicorns are this season. And with Jason being a massive part of it, people are, this guy's pretty good. It's like, yeah, no shit, he played for Hawaii. Like, he's a really good player. Probably one of the best on-ball players. Him and Jarvis. He might even be better than Jarvis. Like, with the ball in his hands. Like, he just has so much confidence. He'll be busting out spin moves and like the craziest things ever. I want to do a video on him, but the GFL website is, can't skip forward 5-10 seconds. Is Bombeck the kicker? That's crazy. Imagine a 240-pound like kicker. That's disrespectful. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Yeah, Jason is crazy. Hello, Sam. my first player on my top 1,000. Of course, the top 1,000, my 1,000 player stream. Number 1 player in Europe. Yeah, having a fucking defensive lineman take your kickoffs is vile. Good instead as well, I think that's how you say his name, number 94. He's a player to look for this season. Another guy that's pretty young and has had success. Is Roby. I thought that ball was coming out there, but that's what happens when you give Roby the ball. I think he's going to get a decent amount of rushing yards this season. Or like, you know, pop passes. You can see quite a lot of pop passes too. Even the cameraman got faked out. But that, first drive terrible. Second drive had like a good amount to take from it. Maybe third time's a chance. Third time's a charm, rather. I haven't seen Henry used much in the pass game. Like, he's not a blocking tight end. He is more of a pass catching tight end. The run hasn't really been able to materialize, which is kind of expected with the Enthroners offensive line. Good pancake there, though. Cole and James have been placed in IR at Rocklaw. They have a chance to make a decent season and make the playoffs. Absolutely. So, Matt Cole, I'm absolutely devastated that he's injured. Like, he was the player I was talking about, load, was one of the best receiver in the league, NFL experience. Hold on, let me just watch Mangle. Go to work, there's Henry. So, yeah, so he was obviously the guy I was talking about a bunch. And then he gets injured a week before a season. I was so devastated. And they got Bender in, who played at DB and then is a receiver. He was a really good DB. I think he played 4 games and got 3 picks, something like that. And I think 1 or 2 of them went for pick sixes. So he's a very talented player. I'm just, I really want to see Matt Cole. I'm sure Bender's going to be great, but I really want to see Matt Cole. And then William James IR is another shame. Like, he's been in the league for years. And they got in the Italian DB. I can't remember his name. Macchioli. I think that's how you say it. He's playing Munich. Is he as good as William? I think he's probably a little bit lower on my boards than William is, because William does know how to go after the ball. And William's obviously in tremendous shape, like he's a personal trainer. Or he does something along the lines of that. Him with AJ have their whole, AJ Wetland over in Rocklaw, have their own thing. So he's obviously in fantastic athletic shape. So it's a shame to see both of those guys go out. I do still think they're going to have a really good year. The Vikings look really good. They look like they might be on fire this year. We all knew they were going to be really good. It's just there were question marks, and it looks like they've kind of answered some of those question marks. Michael again, get to Roby. Good move. There's that speed we talked about, Nick. Those kind of plays, those chunk plays. That's what I talked about on my my what every team needs to do to win. My analysis one, chunk plays. Get the ball to Roby, let him go to work. No, solid. Do you reckon Roby gets over 1,000, Nick, if he stays healthy? I think he could. Is Samuel playing? I just realised that. Can't actually see Samuel. Let me check on my ELF board. What number on my my ELFopedia board? What number Samuel is? Yeah, Samuel 14. I cannot recall seeing Samuel in the game. I might be wrong on that, but if Robitaille is the only guy they're going to be throwing the ball to, and then they'll occasionally hit Henry, he could easily go for 1,000 yards. Yeah, exactly. If they keep Mangle as well, get him connection. Oh, that was a really good defensive play. That was a really good defensive play. Is that Bombeck? You got the ball out there? I got a lot of slack for giving like pass rushes, role player roles on my tier list. But like Jan Philipp Bombeck is one of the best pass rushers in the league. He is excellent. I don't think we'll get a replay of that one, sadly. The Hamburg offensive line got shredded. Defensive line got shredded. He was a big, big loss for them. No time. Got leveled again. Ball came out. Didn't blow it dead. Rathioli and Toff had some nice ups, and they did. Oh no, did they really get the ball back? There's that visor, look at that, man. Defensive lineman with like fucking awesome visors. You can't tell me that's not sick. Are they going to call that towards Vienna? Ouch. Brutal, like you say, brutal. 2 fumbles in 4 drives. No, 3 drives. 2 fumbles in 3 drives. Oh my god, 2 fumbles in 3 drives? Man, that's tough. Let's have a look at that Reeve. He got leveled too. Tried to step in the pocket. The pocket's just not good. And obviously he gets fucking nasty here by Bloor. Great play though. Was his arm going forward? I'd actually maybe another replay there, just a little slower. Doesn't look like I'm going to get one, but kind of look like his arm might be going forward. Oh, they are challenging it. There you go. I feel like I'm on form today, man. I'm hitting these predictions. I'm saying about Noah, and then he's getting big catches. I'm saying about using him in chunk plays, and then I use him in chunk plays. Yeah, his arm maybe going forward in that one, but maybe we'll see. Challenges do take a while, and you'll have to. I think that's one thing that I would like to see sped up. It's just a challenging process. Like, again, not being critical. The referees are doing a good job, I think, for the most part. But the challenging process is still needs a little bit of refining, but it doesn't look like it went through, or they just aren't doing it. Or we didn't see them consulting the film. But they have a chance to go even more up. 26 over was the thing I mentioned at the start. Let's carry again. Just 0 issues until he gets past the line of scrimmage, honestly. Like, now he's getting 4 or 5 without getting touched. You can't stop that, man. You can't. I mean, you need to. You absolutely need to, especially when you invested so heavy on the Americans on defensive line. Because you got Nielsen, who's playing at safety, 38, who came in from Potsdam. And then Rodion. But so far I haven't seen Weston at all either. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's the end of the quarter. Haven't seen Weston. So maybe he's injured again. We know he's had injury issues. We've seen a lot of Noah. We've seen a lot of Jordan Boer. And we've seen a hell of a lot of Carey. I do think it's quite interesting how they've ran the ball so heavily, knowing that the Enthroners have an American defensive line, or 2 American defensive linemen. And they've said, I'm still going to run it. And they're still having a lot of success. Yeah, it's a good game. It is solid. Game seems to be going well and no major delays, like you say. Can't complain. Weather's holding up, and then there was some talk of thunderstorms before, and it is Central Europe. If anyone knows, has anyone ever been in Central Europe? I imagine most people are from Central Europe, or at least visited. It's high pressure. It can get stormy pretty easily. Humid, especially at this time of the year. Whereas in the UK, we just get rain. So, not much thunder, just rain. I like the multi-view feature as well. I'm going to be doing that later. With the multi-view feature, I do kind of hope that it takes up more of the screen though, so you can kind of see it. But I will be doing those games too. The score is 19-0. Yes, we did. Still want to be like, oh yeah, you told me about it, just in case you didn't want me to tell you. You know, didn't want me to reveal the information. But yeah, you told me about the thunderstorms. Like you say, it's grey, overcast weather. There's 19-0. The Enthroners have had 2 fumbles on 2 drives, and the Vikings have been running the ball a lot, and they've had shots deep that have been successful. But you know, the Vikings defense is good in the defensive line, but they've not been exposed or like worked particularly. But there's been holes that the Enthroners have been able to like find success through. Oof, that was a good play. Maybe a bit of pressure. Big sack. They need that. Who had the fumbles? So the first play was like a bad snap, and then it just kind of hit off Mangold's like leg and, you know, scramble around. And then second drive was just a 4-and-out, punted it away. Third drive, Mangold steps up in the pocket and gets nailed by Leon Ball and fumbles the ball. And it kind of maybe looked like his arm went forward, but they challenged it but didn't challenge it, and it just ended up with the ball anyway. So it's Carey at the backfield. That's what I'm saying, man. Carey can be used out there too. Carey is a damn good player. Really good fantasy pickup for those who got him in the fantasy league. Ooh. My stream has just like ended. The game apparently is just cut. Try and go back in. Yes, so right now I can't see anything because the game is currently cut out of live. It isn't currently live. Which isn't great. We saw they had technical difficulties before. Yeah, man. I do love Central Europe, though. I do really want to go back. Vienna's not exactly deep in Central Europe, but it's definitely my favourite place I've ever been to. Yes, the game isn't live currently. So we do have some issues with that. Hopefully that sorts itself out soon. We can get to watch them. And we got the Dragons versus the Mercenaries next up, which starts at 5, and at 6 we get the Raiders versus Milan. And I know a player very well on the Milan team, so I really want to see him play. Hopefully they can get live up again soon. Not a great start. If anyone else is having this issue, maybe it's just me. Maybe the ELF Sewell was doing watch along and didn't like it. Let's give that a minute. Hopefully it comes back. Ben Holmes looks solid so far. Carey's run the ball like crazy. I'm just gonna go through the 10 players I listed. Jordan's had a couple of catches. Because we all know Jordan Boer, how good he is. There we go. Apparently it's live again. Oh man, a cutback and the Enthroners have scored. What the fuck? That's not fair. That's not fair at all. I've just missed the first Enthroners score of the season. It's Rodion. Yeah, you did jinx Anderson. You did. I've just cut away to see people dancing and Rodion celebrating. Did Rodion get another pick 6? I'm not in the lightest bit surprised if he got a pick 6. I'd said that they need chunk plays and big stops, and I said that. It looks like they might have got one. Maybe Ben Holmes for a pick 6? I don't know. No one knows. Some people might know. If some people do know, I'd be much appreciated if you could tell me what happened. Kicks blocks, though. Kicking today's been awful. Or was it? I don't know what happened there. Whatever happened, kicking today has not been great. Here's the intro. Right, here we go. So Ben Holmes steps back. The Roaster went out route, which is, oh, if that was a catch, that's a great catch by Rodion. Pick 6. Shit, that's a good ass play. It's like a 50, 60 yard pick 6. That's like a Troy Polamalu-esque. No, maybe not that low, but that was a bloody good play. Wow. He's back. He's back. Dion is back. Didn't high step in. Didn't have as much space to high step in. Damn, Rodion. I'm glad he got that. I'm so glad he got injured like last year, and I was so gutted that he got injured. So to have him make that big play. And I got to talk to him in person when I was in the Netherlands. He told me he's feeling good, so. Worked out well. Jeez. Alright, so now we're back into it. Now we know that, Ben Holmes out routes. We'll see how he does with that. Out routes are incredibly hard, plays to make. Out routes are one of the hardest routes to throw, so. And he's been out of the game for a few years. Oh, you're right. I can kind of go. Well, I've seen a replay, but yeah, you are right. I can skip back in the stream. I completely forgot I could do that. I'm not sure because it went blank, so I'm not sure if the stream will not exist or if they'll merge them together after the game. We'll see. But 19-6. Maybe a bit of a momentum swing. They go for a onside kick? No, wait, what? Because in the left, you have to announce you're going for an onside kick. So it looks like they're going for an onside kick. And Henry is going to be the kicker, who is a tight end. And the ball is on the floor. I mean, it's bold. Yeah, they went for like a squib kick. And it is not... I told you it was good, man. I told you he was good. That was disgusting. Oh, Nichols, what the fuck was that? Oh, that was disrespectful. I want to watch that again. Oh my god, cleared him. Yeah, no, it did not go well. I said before the game, I'm hitting. I said before the game he's one of the safeties that I think has gone under the radar. But as a special teams player as well, they got a lot of guys that can be good on special teams. Like Jordan Brewer, they got obviously Weapon X and Xavier. Let's carry again. Kind of stopped there though. Something good to take out of that start. And giving the ball back to Vienna. You've just threw a pick 6. Maybe they're feeling the pressure a little bit. They're going to probably keep the ball on the ground now. I think now. Get a drive where you just have the ball on the ground. Get Ben Holmes grounded again. That's one thing that I love about the ELF. It's all the Hungarian flags and the city logo, stuff like that. Oh, they are going to throw it with Ben here. Going to run out though. There he goes. Smart call. Flag though. Are the Enthroners the first team ever to go 2 Americans on D-line? I can't think of another instance where that has happened. Because teams don't really go for D-line Americans very often. If I was building a team, if I'm building a London team, I probably wouldn't either. Carl Kitchens, I might make an exception for, but he can be double team, triple teams. So you really have to commit to it. I need to look at the Enthroners linebackers. They got Janos, number 51, who I like a linebacker. And we just see him break through for 1 sack. There we go. There's Kerry. Getting involved with it. There he goes. No, I'm not a fan of that strat either. I'm a fan of what like Kotzing has done with the Galaxy and how they've done it of just like American DBs. Like Europe has come a long way with American football, but the defensive back position, in particularly corner, is still, there's not. Are there any corners that are as good as an American? I'm not so sure. Like Dion is excellent, and so is some other players in like the corner position. But like favorite inside linebacker in the league. I feel like AJ's a bit of a cheat. Free play here. He caught that too. Vera Palmer actually just caught that. Insane. I said he might do better now that they've had the NFL experience, but it's not going to count. But my favorite inside linebacker, I think AJ is kind of a cop out. But if I'm going for like Europeans, let me think. I like who was my favorite inside guy? I've got a lot of favorite outside linebackers. But inside guy, Nasri's probably up there. Let me go on my roster sheets because I'm definitely forgetting a few people. Simeon's more of an outside guy. Susan's an outside guy. But Nasri and Munich might be. Flamore is an outside guy. Nasri's probably my favorite European. But Arthur Kingdom is another person you need to know about. Like Arthur Kingdom from Potsdam, formerly of Leeds. Seriously. The ELF player. Like, I think he could be an ELF player. Like, he's crazy length for an outside. He's like a slimmer build, but he's like 6'3", maybe 6'4". And he has like the muscular and the explosiveness. He's just long. Like his arms, like his wingspan is incredible. And he's lining up in Potsdam, and I think that he can do it in the left level too. I'm just looking for another shot, but Balin, he's mobile. He can run. Susan played everywhere, which is the thing. If I'm the surge coach, which I'm not, but if I was, I would keep Susan on the edge because Susan is so quick off that first step that he can be effective. So having him as like an outside linebacker edge, I think works for him best. But can he play inside? Absolutely. I think he would have no problem with that. You know who I liked last year? Anthony Rodriguez. Or Anthony Fernandez? Fernandez or Rodriguez? Fernandez. He played for the Enthroners. French guy. But he only played like one game before he got injured. But I really liked his tape. Because who did they get? The Enthroners had 3 linebackers. Janos was one of them. And then they had Fernandez / Rodriguez, who I can't remember, which is not a good start. And then they had another outside linebacker that I can't remember who was also really good. And I actually was kind of like gassed to see their linebacker call up. Obviously, it didn't work out. But I do think the outside linebacker is quite an interesting one in Europe too. You've got people like Ludwig, who are not prototypical linebackers. Crenshaw got a good release out of that though. Ooh. Crenshaw looked solid on that rep. 14, is that Schumacher? Turn around, bro. I can't see you. Looks clean now. 14. Oh, that's Jonas Schultz. Jonas has been a lot. Well, we haven't seen Weston. There's been a lot of injuries, like already this year, which is alarming. I'm not sure if teams are just training inefficiently or if it's just bad luck, but we've had like several guys, like we talked about Matt Cole earlier, already going down. Weston hasn't played. Is Roby again. Is Roby's durability a concern to you, Nick? Because he is a great receiver, but he got injured last year. Like you said, I'm quoting you here, advanced age. He's going to be taking a lot of damage over the middle. Is durability a concern? Potentially. He already looks like he took a bit of a hit in that last play. He was slow to get up, but Ginger on the way up. He's got to sling that. There he goes. Oh, it's a good play. We just talked about him. I say he looks a bit ginger on the way down, and then he just pulls out like a 40-yard catch. I didn't exactly hit with the Mystic Matt prediction on that one. But that was a good play by Roby there. You give him man space, he can make some great catches. Solid throw too. And that was on Xavier. That's just such a fun matchup. Roby's an inside guy anyway, is Henry. Speak of the devil. Not much there though. Lalo. I like Lalo. He's such a big DB. He's like 6. Is he like 6'2", 6'3"? And the natural comparison for a lot of people was like Richard Sherman, but like Lado's thicker, I think. Where's Ben Dixon playing? Is he playing right tackle? There's Mangle again, taking the shot. There he goes, 10 yards. Not bad. Or 8 yards, rather. If they sort out the fumbles, which I know is easier said than done, but the first drive was unlucky. The next fumble was just a really good defensive play and maybe a separation issue because Mangle had to step up. But they're looking all right. Like, there's certainly potential within the Enthroners. I wrote before about the ELFJ, and I think the Enthroners would benefit a lot from ELFJ. Of course, financials comes into it at that point. There he goes again, taking a shot. Great catch, Roby. We got a bit of a comeback on here. We got a little bit of a comeback going on here. Oh my god, I predicted this. I said they cannot be, like, arrogant about it. They can't, come in and expect to win. Great play. It is fun to watch. They are getting hot. Jeez. Yeah, maybe Roby might be a top 5 guy after all if he's carries on making plays like that. There's Samuel. I'm happy we're seeing Samuel. I'm glad that he's okay as well. Like, he's not injured and that's why he's not playing. I'd love to see a replay of that one. You know what league I really have enjoyed watching at the moment is the French league. Because, the Elite Division. Because they have a drone that, like, flies over the games and shows replays. Like, that's so cool. And the French league isn't even considered, like, a top 5 league. And it has fucking drones. Like, if ELF get drones, that'd be pretty cool. I'm gonna call it now. ELF gonna get drones in like 2 years. That's a great play though. Jack Mangle with a real nice throw too. Hasn't had interception issues so far. The first fumble, I'm not gonna say was his fault. Second fumble was unfortunate and it's a great defensive play, but hasn't thrown picks, which I think was a massive thing coming in. If he came in against like a really good Raiders team and just threw a bunch of picks, it'd be like That doesn't seem to be the case. Which we'd love to see. Like, more competitive games are better. No one wants to see the Raiders. I keep saying Raiders. No one wants to see the Vikings come in and just tear them up. Like, that would have been a boring game. Going for 2. The angle don't allow you to see too much on that one. It was incomplete. This is Samuel. See what I mean with a slightly slighter build, but quick. That's a beautiful route. That's a beautiful route. It brings up a conversation, man. Like, when it comes to American receivers, can you put a European DB on an American receiver and be reliable? There's a play from a second ago. He did well, he just balls well behind him. Who's Fehérvár? I think 27 is. I don't have him on my thing, but do you feel the Vikings are weaker since last year? The Enthroners got better. Both. I think the Vikings are weaker. Like, a lot of people are comparing the Vikings to being like a championship team, which I don't think they are. I think they are contenders, and there's a bit of a thing we've said about they're not going to win. I just don't think they're going to be number 1 in the league at this point. They lost a few key pieces. I've said about Weston. I've had problems with Holmes, but he looks to be fine. But he threw a pick 6 earlier, which has kind of started the momentum. Flags already on the return. Oh, look at the quickness of Xavier there, man. That turn. He's so incredibly explosive. His movement skills. That's a big thing I'm looking out for in scouting when I'm doing reports. Is how they move. And Xavier Edwards there is a perfect example of just the movement skill. That is like elite level and good. Well, like elite level for Europe. Like, you look at the NFL, and people get lost in this because the NFL is so, and everyone is so good in the NFL that it makes some of the players look like they're not moving as fast as they are. But that game speed is incredible. And then the Enthroners, they got better, hopefully, because the quarterback, last year was Jared Evans, who is probably a better quarterback than Mangle. Well, he is, but he just didn't have much help, and kind of all fell apart. The didn't really have much going. Didn't really have any playmakers. Didn't really have much big playability. It wasn't really clicking. And they did nearly beat the Vikings this time. Like last year, they 21-20. Last minute missed kick by the Enthroners. That was all that separated that. There's Kerry again. I have the Fire as the number 1 team in the league, and people have said about the Ryan Fire getting worse. I don't think they have. They lost Joaquin, but you can't really replace Joaquin. But then they got Jasper Friss. If you know anything about Jasper Friss, he's a fucking dog. They lost Anthroners. They've also got Haaland, who I think is an extremely valuable receiver. Back up. Put them back in. Carrying people. Haven't seen the major effectiveness of this American strat yet for the Enthroners. As in, they need to start doing 5-man lines. No, it didn't matter for the Vikings. You are right. They didn't play starters much. But I think it was an undefeated season. If they lost an undefeated season to the quote unquote one of the worst teams in the league, that would have looked real poor. Beer Bomber. Is that Beer Bomber's first catch? I don't see him as involved as I thought we might. Marcus Scheibel. That's what I'm thinking of. It's Titan I couldn't remember earlier. It's Marcus Scheibel. But it has been... It looked like it might have been a blowout. And then the Enthroners are 2 quick scores. Well, not 2 quick scores, but a big play on a pick 6 and then a sustained drive of Roby. Let's carry again. Rodion's too experienced to fall for that kind of move. Carry, man. Rodion's been around the block Former Leipzig Kings. That's how far back he goes. Can you imagine the King? Like, the Kings feel like so long ago. So do the Rams. It's last season. Doesn't it just feel like 3 years ago? I miss the Rams, though. I do miss the Rams. And I miss the Kings, too. But if I'm going to be honest, like, there are a lot of German teams. I don't think there needs to be another German team. I was a little bit on the fence when they announced Munich. And of course, it worked out really, really well. Munich is an excellent team. But I was like, can they sustain another German team? But they could. So. Timeout. Fourth down. Do you go for this? The kicking's been not great. You're up by 7. 4th and 3. I think I'm giving it to carry on this one. I think I'm just going to run like an inside zone. Just try and get carried to space. Referee's having a deep discussion about it. Another benefit of European football, I say, is ads are playing. There's not as many ads. I don't watch. Like, I watch the NFL often, but I don't watch it nearly as much as European ball because the ads are insufferable, and because streaming is hard to do from the UK because games start late and end late. And I'm a Patriots fan, which a few years ago would have been glory hunting, but I only picked the Patriots because it's New England and I'm from England and was getting into it. But now we're terrible. So some of those games are borderline unwatchable. So it's unwatchable football and ads, which made me watch so much more European ball. Again, same kind of with college. Like, I like NIL deals and I think it's good the athletes are getting it, but some of those NIL deals are like more than NFL like superstars are making. Like, Brock Purdy ain't making as much as like Archie Manning. Like, how does that make sense? Deep discussion about whether they should go to this. Taking their time. There we go. So they are going to go for it. I thought they might. 2-minute warning, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it makes sense to go for it. They're running a 4-man. Looks like they might be sending an outside linebacker. They're running 5 actually. There we go. Let's try the middle with carry. Yeah, I don't think that was a crazy prediction though. I think most people probably saw that one coming. Look at that footwork too to avoid the lineman. Just did it. That's nice. That's what I like when I'm watching like a positional player, someone who's in the open field. I call it a pitter pat. When you're watching them in person, you just hear the, I'm not sure if you can hear it on the mic, but the footwork. This Holmes off his back foot. Mighty close. Mighty close. Oof, Jordan is a bad man. He nearly reeled that in too. That would have been a hell of a throw off his back foot. Jordan looks hurt. Hopefully he's alright. Like a jump pass. Didn't maintain possession though, did he? So. Oh wait, what? Touchdown Vikings? Really? Huh? How? It looked like he had his, like he looked like he might have got his feet down, but the ball was like out by the time he hit the floor. Oh, I'm not sure about that. I'm not so sure about that call, guys. I'm gonna be real. I'd like to see a replay. It doesn't look like we're gonna get one. If I'm an Enthroners fan now, I'm pissed. Oh, I'm not so sure about that call. Yeah, nah, I'm with you here, Anderson. I'm not so sure. I don't know, man. Like, can we get a replay or something? Like that was. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's have a look. So he steps back, puts the ball up there. Doesn't really show, but like he clearly gets his feet down, but he doesn't have the possession of the football. Like that, I don't know. That's not a touchdown, in my opinion. I don't think that's a touchdown. Good on Jordan. No, that's Schaefer. Good on Jordan. I'm glad he got his score. I'm not so sure that's a score though. The Enthroners are very unfortunate. If that would be a big shame if that was the difference between the Enthroners getting a win or the Vikings getting a loss. Didn't exactly see the full process of the play, but that's tough. That's tough. That's real tough. I think even the Vikings are a little bit like, well, I'll take it. Controversial. 25-12. Weird score. Kick is high. Not much going on. Did they change that? Because the ball hit the floor there and then everyone bolted. But I thought the rule, at least I thought it used to be, the player actually has to touch it before the players are allowed to go. They might have changed that. But I'm not entirely sure. There we go. Enthroners, 1 minute 9 seconds. One timeout. There's plenty of time to get something out of this, hopefully. Yeah, bad drop. It was a little low, but Bengals got to put that outside. It's got to put that higher. Hussar. Looks like they're going out to him a little bit at the moment. You know, that big play with Roby was over Hussar. But yeah, it's going to play catches. Makes sense. I like that more, I think. Because if your ball can hit the floor, a player can just wait and see how the block's developing. It gives them quite an advantage. Oh! Henry got blasted. Xavier is down. No, he's up. Henry got flipped there, but he was straight back up. Yeah, no more 3 second wait. So Henry was another NFL Academy player. It was one of my first players I wrote about. Oof. Bit of miscommunication there. Yeah, Henry's an NFL Academy alumni. Got Khaled out in Barca. You got Brian Winter. You've had Maurice Baker from the Kings, running back from like last season. A lot of NFL Academy guys, not just going into the college system, but also feeding like the European leagues, which I think is incredible. I had a conversation with one of the coaches, Yui, that I think the NFL Academy is the best thing to ever happen to European American football. Like the ELF is outstanding. I love the ELF. I talk about it every day. But the NFL Academy is just unreal. What it's doing for Europe. Ooh, nearly. There's a player down. Lots going on that rep. Players holding. The players fighting. Nice blue visor though. Quite teal. Quite a lot of flags in the second quarter. Like, it was quite free flowing in the first game. Quite a lot of flags, like in the first quarter rather. Quite a few flags in the second quarter. Nearly blocked too. They're doing like the rugby style punts just to give themselves as much time as possible. I think this is a dangerous one. I think it's more of a European punt. It's more of like a soccer kick. And all the Europeans in the comments are going to get mad about me calling it a soccer kick, but you know, it's more that system than a traditional punt. I'm not sure what the flag is for so far. But 21 seconds to take a shot. The refs seem like they're favouring the Vikings slightly on these calls. They might just redo the punt. Lots of discussion. Yeah, a bit of a stop-start second quarter. Not really being able to get it flowing. Not as much, anyway. Yeah, you're going to replay the punt. That makes sense. I don't think we're going to see much from the Vikings here. I think they're probably going to take a knee. We'll go to halftime. Man, timeout now, really? Yeah, you had all this time to discuss. And you're going to call a timeout now? Like, you had the whole, like, system of the flags to discuss. Now call a timeout with 21 seconds left. We better see the most obscure offense or obscure punt block ever if we're calling a timeout now. Schultz has done well though, 14. Seen him quite a lot. I don't think he's made any like huge catches, but he's definitely been around. There we go. Replay the punt. We took a while to get here, but we're here. He nearly went down there, but he didn't. He's still going. Ooh, what the fuck happened there? I looked like a crackback block, but a hurdle at the same time. There's no flag, so I'm assuming it was fine. But Edwards is a very elite returner. Nearly goes down. Great balance. 5 or 6 sidestep moves. Kind of maybe nearly hurdles a guy, but the guy gets blasted anyway. Oh, there is now flags. Again, more flags, man. A lot in the second quarter. A lot in the second quarter. To go for a shot here? 3 seconds left. They're up by 13. They can probably afford to take a shot if they wanted to. It looks like they're going to kick it. I think it wasn't the easiest to see. Looks good from this angle. Yep, there we go. Field goal's good. Halftime. I'll stick around for halftime. I'll probably just chat for a bit. Should be about 20-30 minutes. So you put the halftime score in the comments just in case people aren't looking at it. We'll put it in. Here we go. Not a bad half. Kind of early lead by the Vikings. Lots of offensive troubles by the Enthroners. Enthroners kind of seem to come back into it. And then kind of seem to kind of let it slip a little bit towards the end. But what was it? I think I said 40-14. So I think that's kind of gone out the window. I don't think that's a possible scoreline anymore. I guess technically it is. We could see a safety, but I don't think we're going to see much of a thing. Now I've got to check all my group chats I've, been neglecting. There we go. I think the Enthroners just need to try and get back on board. I'm really surprised no English commentary for this game now. So I'm either de facto English commentator. I don't think so. But that'd be kind of funny if it was. ELF should be approaching me for contracts. Oh man, those were such good games. What are some of the other highlights from those old games from last season? It feels like such a long time ago. I mentioned about it before, but damn. It's been such a long off season. I've missed what was Matt Ice. He was a fun storyline last year over in Mexico. I potentially could see him in the league. It's Jordan Bull and the Raiders. The Raiders, I think, are going to be worse this season. Excited to see what's that's the thing with Milan now. Like that was such a good matchup, but now it's all been turned on their head because Farad McCombs has got injured. The corner for the Raiders. And then Tommy's left, and Tommy has gone to Potsdam, which is a move. So we'll see how Milan kind of deals with that. They still have speed with Flores Calderon. Mercenaries just dropped the new uniforms. Oh, let's have a look at that on their Instagram. It's really good. I heard from connections. I'm sure if people know who I talk to most days, they'll know who my connection is, and for a lot of the mercenary stuff. I heard they're kind of keeping the same colour scheme of like white, red, and black. But I will check. Alright, so black home. I like it. Silver in the pants. Helmets are clean. I mean, the home jerseys are quite similar to the ones from last year. I do think they look like more, more. Let me try and find like a actual picture of them from last season. I think they look quite similar. I do like them. I do think they're nice. I think black jerseys are kind of hard to go wrong with, especially with white and red detailing. Like a white and red detailed black jersey, it's probably going to look good. And then they actually gone for grey, not white. You know what I miss though? I miss helmet numbers. I'm a sucker for helmet numbers. Like just on the side. Like what Alabama had, what I had when I was at Pride. I had the number on the helmet. I miss them. I think it's something I want to bring back. Yeah, I do like that. I wonder if they'll do the white ones today as well. I mean, when they're playing. Yeah, I like the logo on the helmet, but I don't like the Helvig logo. So maybe that's playing into it. Because the Helvig logo it's simple. It's, you know, a bit soulless, maybe? I'm so not going to get a job with the Helvig mercenaries talking about like this. It just lacks a bit of soul. You know, the Guards logo was individual. You know, it was different. And he represented Switzerland really well. Had a Swiss flag and everything like that. Like the mercenaries logo is just like an M. An M which has been used as, what was it, the memes of Yalepa, like it was an esports team. It was an esports team logo. They've just put like the Swiss cross on it. But, you know, I would like to see a little bit more creativity. The Vienna Vikings one is a worse one, like downgrade wise. No, it's also kind of, it's not corporate. I think that's a weird word to use for it, but it's too simplified. The Enthroners one is kind of a classic one. It kind of works. It's an E. Like it kind of does the job. Like the simpler ones. So like as a fan of like old, like, you know, I'm English. I grew up watching a lot of like Premier League football, and I'm from Bristol. So the Bristol City logo is the old one. Is like awesome. I like the new one too, but I like the old. I like, you know, the like city crest badges. I think always look really nice. Let me try and find all the like list of teams. So the Dragons logo is sick. Dragons logo is probably one of my favorites. It's also like it's kind of modern, but it has the same color scheme as the old one in the NFL Europe days. The Milano one, the Milano Seamen need to change their name. I'm gonna be real. I wrote about this last year. The Milano Seamen need to change their fucking name. It's not marketable. Like, most of the people that watch the ELF are Americans. I think the ELF themselves have said about that. No, there's a lot of beautiful soccer badges out there. Like, I'm a Chelsea fan more than I'm a Bristol City fan, because Bristol is not a good city for football. And obviously football's a lot older than American, for like soccer is a lot older than European. Fucking hell, man. Soccer is a lot older than American football, so we've kind of had like more historical badges. Like the old Man City badge, I think the new one is great too, but you know, something about those old badges that get me. Milano's badge is good, just the name that's awful. The Raiders Tyrrell, I think, have arguably one of the most recognizable logos. And the sword's awesome, you know, they kind of got the eagle. And it's black and white. Like those Jarvis, no, it's black and white jerseys was so good. Berlin Thunder's OG. It works. Road Claw as well. It's simple, but it works. Ryan Fire is OG. And it's Burgundy, which we don't see that much. I like Burgundy. Cologne works. Hamburg works. Prague's new logo is great. Love Prague's new logo. I just wish it was orange. Like, why is it not orange? Like that nice, like, tangerine orange was so nice. It worked so well. So would have been great. I actually did that. I put it on my story on my Instagram. I like changed the logo to be orange. It worked super well. So maybe they're giving the orange up to a different team that reps orange as a national color. Ravens is fine. I like the blue. Surge. A lot of my friends really like the Surge logo and like the Surge color scheme. I'm not a fan of the like neon yellow though. I'm gonna be real. The dark blue works, but the neon yellow, I don't know. I think the Vikings have a good color scheme. It's just too much red and blue. The only team that doesn't have red and blue. What? Is there a team without red and blue? I mean, you could argue Ryan Fire. But Burgundy's kind of red. So I think every team has a red and blue. Even the Dragons have a little bit of red. And then purple is like the other one, which is a combination of the two colours. So I just want to see a bit more individuality from my teams in the ELF. You can look at GFL, which isn't directly comparable, but like gold teams and green teams. You got like the Hurricanes that wear the green. Got Dresden that have the cool golds. The Dresden jerseys have always been super. I actually have a Dresden jersey in my room. Jason Salome's Dresden jersey. He won a GFL Bowl in 2020, 21, 22. It's like hung on my wall. You've probably seen it in some of the backgrounds of some of my old videos. But like, yeah. I was watching a 2022 GFL final, whichever one Jason was playing in. It was Dresden's first ever championship win. I was watching that on the underground in London on my phone. So anytime I would come to like the next stop, it would load. I'd watch a few minutes, and then we'd set off. The Wi-Fi would cut out because London Tube doesn't really have Wi-Fi. And then I'd be able to resume. So it took me like 5 hours, no, not really. I wasn't on Tube for the whole one, but it took a long time to watch the entire game because it was so buffered. But that was fun. So I have a Dresden jersey. I never played in Europe because I was not very good. I'm a much better scout than I am a player. Like the Jose Mourinho of the football scene. That's what I want to be. Who's linked with Chelsea at the moment, which I would be fine with. Just Chelsea, like, is a mess. Overall European football, like companies just got a Bayern Munich job. What's going on with that? The Celtics are through nearly to the finals. I'm a big basketball guy. Well, not a big I'm like a mega casual when it comes to basketball. I love basketball. I think it's great. I'm just a mega casual. And I support the Celtics, which is rough because I don't really watch the games because they're on at weird times and they're on like every other day. But I'll occasionally catch the highlights and I'll keep up with the scores, like the box scores. That's pretty much it. And then MMA, got a lot going on there, but it's a UK card. They're doing it at like 4 a.m, which I hate. Like, why the hell are they doing a UFC card in Manchester? Oh, fucking hell, I sound like I was from Manchester. Manchester. At 4 a.m. And Leon Edwards is in it against Bilal Muhammad. I'm not a massive Leon Edwards fan. Or a Bilal Muhammad fan. But teams are warming up again, so hopefully we can get through halftime. I never know what's doing at halftime with these things. But I'm going to get some Oreos. I'm going to put my mic down so it's not a massive sound. I was never really one for warm-ups either. When I was a player, like, you know, when you have to arrive like 2 hours for a game to warm up, I hated that. I feel like it's too long. I'd like to see some halftime highlights. We'll see that pick 6 from Rodion, because it cut out when you couldn't see that. I want to see the fumbles, because I'm not so sure. Like, that second fumble, it looked like he may have gone forwards. And I really want to see that Jordan Brewer touchdown. The second one. The first one also, because it was just a great catch. But that second one was controversial. We haven't really seen that many replays. Let's just say that and we get replays. I want to see the Jordan catch. Kerry's got what? 2 touchdowns? Or 1? There's the first one, which was outstanding. The cleats don't match the jersey though. And there's a pick 6. I don't know how he spun out of that. Then show me the Brewer. No, it's not show the Brewer touchdown. You're probably only a few minutes away from the actual start of the second half too, so that's fine. There we go. Teams are kind of walking out. Here we are, second half. Do you think the Vikings are going to pull away? To be honest, they kind of showed they were going to do that towards the end of the first. But we also maybe if the Enthroners can score in bunches, it might help them. Just can they score in bunches? Is the main thing. It's a big if. Let's be honest. Like the offense has been. It's been alright. It's been some things you could take from it as positives. Like losing the turnover battle. Do you think Bombeck as a kicker is cracked? Don't they have a kicker there? They listed on the team. Yeah, they got Tasic. I'm surprised that Tasic isn't doing that. I guess he gives more of a tackling ability than Tasic does on special teams. It just seems odd to me to employ a kicker and not use him on kickoffs. But hey, if it works, it works. They've not conceded a kickoff touchdown. And they've actually done really well on covering the kickoffs. Here we go. Second half. See what they can do out of this. When they kick it off. There we go. Some of the grey clouds kind of easing up too. There's the ball. That's a live ball. Is it not a live ball? Kickoff's always a live ball. Not a great kick by Jan now. Oh, it's a flag. That's fine. Yeah, I gotta start watching Hunter actually playing his natural position, not just hurdling people on special teams. Because he's certainly a player of interest. Could see an all ELF selection, honestly. As a safety or as a 20-yard line. Thank you. Good play. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not too informed with the kickoff rules. I probably should be, but it's kind of one of those things that I've neglected, to be honest. But that was a good play there, though. Got a good 7-8 yards out of it. Alright. Enthroners getting something. Starting to drive off pretty well. Getting a bit more of a run game style, which I think they needed, because the run game was quite stagnant in the first half. There's Roby again, in motion. Man, 3 high safeties. There we go, going to him again. He's just too fast for Nicholas, honestly. He's just too quick. His release is too quick. His change of direction. I think Mangle knows that. I think we're going to see a hell of a lot of Roby on this one. Yeah, they did make a step up. The Enthroners are a lot better. Like, they just look more competent. No, just overall. Like compared to this time last year, they played Berlin, I believe, in the first game last year. They looked just bad. Like, just as a footballing standpoint. But now they look like they've actually earned the Vikings' respect a little bit. Yeah, the pick six is huge. Roby is lining up. Yeah, Mango looks alright. I think that he can be solid. Like maybe a game manager, just get it to who he needs to, pick his spots. We've seen a few passes go a little bit wayward. Like that out route on the last drive. Nothing going on there. But Roby's certainly been the star of the show so far. He had that pretty good run. He had that long touchdown. He had that great grab over the middle on the seam route. There's not much coming in the run game. Commentator's curse. And then they get something in a run game. That was a solid run. Very solid run. Straight up the middle. Yeah. They're in the red zone too. Couple there. Oh, I thought he'd lost the ball for a second there. Man, I would have been devastated if they fumbled the ball for a third time. That would have actually been heartbreaking. Because you count out those 3 fumbles, even if they didn't score on any of the 2 fumbles, sorry. Even if they scored a touchdown on one of those drives, which one of them's looking like they could have, it would very much still be in this game. You count out the Jordan Builder touchdown they're very unlucky on. Could be looking at a different game. Oh, he's wide open in the end zone. Looked like Roby had a second there. Looked like Roby could have had something hit in stride, but nothing there, unfortunately. Nine yards. Second and third and maybe 6. It'd be awesome for them to get a score here. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that works. There we go. Oh my god, damn. Oh, shit. That was really damn good. Fair enough, Jack. Fair enough. I've been pretty vocal on that, on me being unsure, but that was really good. That was really good. I know how he stayed up on that. Oh shit. You took that contact excellently. Let's have a replay of that. I thought it was like, oh man, he kind of went, he like cut back inside. I thought he could have got another yard if he went outside. He didn't need an extra yard to go outside. He went inside and like ran through 3 people. He's a big dude. Mangle is a big guy. He's like 6'4", 230. I think he's listed out when he was in college. It's like Mangle is a big dude. He just didn't run an awful lot. But shows that he can run. You can do it. Right back in. Like the Enthroners are right back in. Kick is good. Looks like good from this angle. No good. No good kick. Kicking woes continue. Speaking of, the Razors just signed an Irish kicker too, which is controversial. There's a look at the replay. Yeah, so I thought, no, you don't need to go inside, but he bounced straight off that contact. That's what you want to see. That was excellently done. Tucked and ran. Avoided one, took the contact from the other. Awesome. Good stuff. Like, minus these fumbles, the Enthroners are looking alright. Like, are we in a world where the Enthroners are potentially going to steal a win or 2? Like, I'm excited to see the Enthroners versus Prague. I've been saying about Prague. I don't know why people put Prague at last on the power rankings. Like, Prague are one of the best safeties in the league. Prague have one of the best homegrown backs in the league. They have Merrill Zero as like an exchangeable running back. They got Lawrence at offensive line. They got a really good receiver core, like local, like Czech talent in receiver core. I don't know why so many people have Prague last. Good kick. Oh, there he goes. Xavier. Just gets you 25, 30, 35 yards per return. Such a valuable weapon. Look at the bend in his ankles. Yeah, big drive. Big drive. How they answer back? It's a 10-point game. It's still very much in contention. This is far from over. They need to stop Kerry. They cannot allow him to keep getting. I know he's going to kind of wind down as the game goes on, like you would expect. And the running back room isn't nearly as depthful as it was last year. Last year's running back room for Vienna was great. I think it's what kept them undefeated. But this year, it's a little bit slimmer. Don't have the Wigan brothers. High ball, but did well to go and get that. That's a good catch. I haven't seen much of him in film study, but he's doing a stand-up job so far. Just filling a role. No Weston, which I think is a big question mark. Third down. Enthroners need this. Be great for their momentum if they can get a stop here. Creeping, they look like in a heavy blitz. Beer bomber right in the middle. There he goes. He's not an easy man to bring down. Oh, that's a shame of the Enthroners, just letting him get that open up the middle. He looks faster too. He was faster than last year. Last year he was not clunky, but you know, he's a big dude, so you can kind of see him a little bit slower, but he looks a lot more fluid. You can even see Weston on the sideline. Kerry's dragged down for a loss of 5. Big play. We have virtual lines. It's been a while. Didn't have lines for the whole. I looked at it, I was like, well, they've been there the whole time? I don't think they have. I didn't want to mention it in case I was mistaken. That's Jabari. He would definitely go down as like a player I think deserves more respect. Screen deflected at the line. 3rd and 13. Another third down. Durham's got another chance to kind of get the ball back. Potentially get another score on the board. Been a couple of those deflections off the line actually. I think we'll see some for Gabriel Montagna as well. I said about him as a D tackle from Milan. Just somehow gets like a ton of deflections. I generally think he might be up like near the top for deflections like this season. It's going to be weird. Ooh. Oh, great catch. Oh, great catch. That was huge. That was a Emil Ockenstoffer. That was a hell of a grab. Through the contact. Manages to get maybe another yard out of it. Maybe an easy 4th down there. Or an easier 4th down, certainly. Great play. 4th and 2. Are they in field goal range? Tasic is a good kicker. Yeah, listen, fuck it. We're going for it. Oh, I'm sending everything if I'm Enthroners here. Send everything. Oh, they're passing. Oh, he ain't got it. Oh, he's got it. Oh, there we go. Another third. Another big play. Ah, it's killing him. The Enthroners are getting killed, but he's third and fourth downs. We saw Kerry got fourth down. We got Ben Holmes going for a fourth down. We got Beerbomb getting the third down. Like, this is, something they got to sharpen up on. The virtual lands have been left behind, Addison. They're gone. Taking a shot. That's out of the range. Every receiver in the world's going to call for a flag on that one, but that was not a flag. I don't think the Vikings can claim about any referee calls, considering the very controversial call of the touchdown with Jordan. The Lions are back. Oof. Nearly reeled it in. Right, another third down. Is third down a charm? It's got to be. It's a 3rd and 10 as well, so it's a lot. Gotta reel that in, Traore. Off the fingertips. He knows that. Good amount of fans too. It's in Hungary. It's not a big footballing nation, but seems like they got a decent amount of fans in the stadium. Timeout Vikings. They've taken a lot of time out of the clock with this one. Like, big sustained drive. Just those short chunk plays that are just killing the Enthroners. These third downs, fourth downs, kind of stuff they need to really be locking down. Like, who are the Enthroners? Let me have a quick look on who the Enthroners have got, like, next week. Not that this game's over by any means. Yeah, so you got Cologne. That's an easier game, much easier game. Where I think they will be able to deal a lot better with these third downs. Like, to have Vienna, who is a title contender, in week 1, it's tough. And Cologne have also got that, because Cologne have got Ryan. So one of these teams is going to win a game next week. And it could even be the Enthroners. As crazy as that sounds, from what we've seen in this game, the Enthroners could beat Cologne. And I like Whittington, but Cologne have lost Lucky so far. They lost Fabian Vents like last season. They lost Fabian Vents like last season. Oh shit, carry on going. Yeah, he's done well. Schultz has done good. I might have to do a little more study into Schultz, looking like a bit of a problem. Breaks one tackle, avoids another one. Rolls forward on another one. That's such a flex. Having Doctor on the back of your jersey. That's a cold. That might be one of the best jerseys in the ELF just because it has Doctor on the back of it. And that's such a flex. Ribs, by the looks of it. Taking a while to get that one back up, but we're in. Oh, you looked at it with one open. He's going to get... Oh, did he get that? That's a great play. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you are right. I think there are 2 doctors in the league, which is so sick. I love that. I don't think he got the touchdown, but that was, you know, you like to see that kind of effort from your quarterback, but it looks like he was just a little bit short. I'll tell you after this replay, because I just want to see where he was. Yeah, it looks like his foot went out of bounds. Just about. Yeah, I talked about Nando just a minute ago. So 28-18 is the score, to answer your first question. And I think he's a very good, underappreciated European player. Like, he won a Triple Crown in 2022, carries in, touchdown. Now is not 28-18. He's now 34-18, but pending extra points. Yeah, he got Triple Crown in 2022 in the domestic league. He's had a really good catch in this game. He had a couple out routes and that have been successful. Yeah, they like literally just scored. I think Carey's got 3 today. They can't stop the run. The interior is just getting like dominated, to be honest. Daltrey's and Orley left centre. So look, see it. I believe it's Tasic. Can't see the number, but I'm assuming it's Tasic. Kicks wide. So it'll stay 34-18. I would agree he's the best receiver in Hungary. I'd like to see 13 though. He looks like he could be getting better. I can't pronounce his name. I can't remember what his name is. I'll put it in the chat. He looks like he's done some good work in the off-season. Wasn't sure if he was that last year. But let me get his name from Elefopedia. That dude. Martin. Yeah, kicking's weird, right? And kicking in this whole game has been... Oh, is he? So, the kicking's been pretty awful the entire game. Like, we've only had a couple of PATs. We had like 1 or 2 successful PATs, and really not much. He's older. I'm surprised by that. I must have just missed him. But yeah, he's physically big. He looks like thick for a receiver. Shows decent hands, but yeah, if he's older, he's on special teams too. So, I mean, they got Leon. Not Leon. They got Jan kicking, which is odd. He's not been like a great kicker. Like, one of the ones who didn't make to the 20. I'm surprised they don't have Tasic kicking as a kicker. But 34-18. Vienna took a lot of time off the clock with that last drive. I think they're probably just trying to halt momentum of the offense for the Enthroners to try and get them off the field for a bit, get them cooled down. Because they were kind of moving that ball. And Jack Mangle's confidence is going to be sky high. 2 fumbles out of the way that can't really blame him for. 0 picks. A rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown. Can't really ask for like a hell of a lot more. Like, I think every Enthroner fan, if I told them it was going to be like 34-18, they'd be quite happy with that. I said 40-14. No, Lenny, I'm not showing the game. I'll get done. If I show the game, I'll get in so much trouble. I would love to, but it would also it would be so laggy. I do not have the best Wi-Fi. Enthroner's running game hasn't been crazy active. Like, there's been 1 or 2 good runs for like 10, 20 yards. Jack Mangle ran it in earlier for a touchdown, which was physical. He literally juked one out of the shoes, went physical, and went into the end zone for like a 10, 15 yard run. But the Vikings have done a good job in stopping a run. Here's the kickoff. Took a while to get that one going. The kickoff team for the Vienna Vikings has been really solid. I got the Game Pass money. I don't have the Game Pass money. That's the thing. I just get it for free. I write for a lot of people like AFI, and I make a lot of content about the ELF. So I'm in a very fortunate position where I didn't have to pay for Game Pass this season. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to disclose that. But the league has been very generous. Here's some of that run game. 4-6 yards maybe. Been quite a balanced one though. Like they've ran and passed quite equally, I think. They've had more success passing because Roby. They've only given one run to Roby. Which when he had that first one I thought he would be able to be a bit more involved with that. But there's run again, stop for another yard. It's like Xavier. Lenny, if you came, you could still come to the ELF, Lenny. Swiss team needs you, bro. Speaking of, Henry Rowland, who you would have played against. But he's not part of no net gang. It's Robbie again, like, it's very clear that he's the guy that they're just going to try and target. What's like the ELF record for catches? He could even get near that, honestly. I know how many catches he's had in this game specifically. Like the ELF hasn't had like graphics come up about rushing yards or like catches or anything like that, or the offensive tendencies that they've had a little bit last season. But I think Roby's got maybe 6, 7, 8 catches. At least 5. It's a good run. They have announced their imports. They have announced their imports. Finally. They took a while. I haven't studied all of them yet, so the video is not done. I will do one, but they haven't officially announced like the release of like Pascali, but then he's not on the team yet. Like he's not been announced. They got the I think this is the Icelandic running back in. Sorry, I don't really know what's going on there, but they have announced their imports. But I still don't think they're going to be very good. Oh, Henry Rowland getting physical. That's good work. See that again. Fucking put him on his ass. They've used him a lot with those kind of styles. Like they like the outs and getting him into a little bit of space, just giving him like those flats. And motions, they've used Henry a lot motioning in the same side for those rollouts. Run game is looking a bit stagnant though. Like 3rd and 3, don't think they got much. Hot take. Let me think. I mean, I already kind of said that I don't think Vienna is going to be in a title game, which some people thought would be hot. I think that Paris are going to beat Hamburg. Paris are going to beat Frankfurt twice, which a lot of people were not on board with. Like Frankfurt don't have as a good offensive line, I think, as Paris do defensive line. They got Steven Nielsen, who's incredible. I just don't think they have anyone to his level. Oh, bad punt. Oh no, get it out. There we go. The snap is shanked. I think this might be the writing on the wall. The score is 34-18 to the Vikings, but you know, we just had a muffed kick. This is flag, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but at the moment it's 34-18. to the Vikings. It's been an interesting game. It's definitely been a bit of a weird one. Partner did well to get the ball off. I did try and research how to put like a score graphic on this, but I'm an idiot and didn't know how to do that. I didn't want it to like film the ELF scoreboard because then it would slow the stream down like a lot. But he very nearly got stuffed on the 1 yard line. So what's the flag here? Okay, so the offense have the ball, looked like it was a declined flag. But they're like so close. I think it's going to be another touchdown here, pending. They're on the 17-yard line, starting their drive. I probably will make a highlight video, at least for a couple of them. But the ELF do that as well, so I don't know. I don't really want to like walk on their feet, but. Oh my god, the running holes, that was unbelievable. The snap, the players weren't even lined like, down stances. Vikings snapped the ball 5 yards between anyone and carry. There's a throw, short screens, nothing. It's like a 3rd and 2. Probably going to be 40 on this one. We're still in the 3rd quarter. Like, the Vikings have done well. But the Vikings have made some mistakes that they won't be able to do against Roquelaw. As much as Roquelaw have had the preseason injuries that have kind of like, not derailed them, but have made it a bit more shaky, they're still an elite team. Comes another shot over the middle is dropped. 4th and 2. The kicking for Vienna has not been good so far. Lots of missed PATs. But they did kick a field goal earlier that was successful. So. Odds on they go for a field goal. I think that's the most likely. But it doesn't look like they are. They're going to go for it on 4th and 2. I mean, they've done that a couple times this game, so it's not like massively surprising. But how many fucking Enthroners run the ball? It's like 8-9 players in the box. Makes sense because of how heavy that Vienna set is. Carry gets there, no problem. 1st down. Oh, this is going to be in my... I'm not going to do like a big post-game review because that'll take me hours of like all the games. But my analysis next week, I think 3rd and 4th downs for them to beat Cologne is going to be a huge, huge thing. They've allowed way too much on the 3rd and 4th downs. And they got Gerald Alman next, who isn't as good as Kerry Bajarian, but like he's still very good. He's still like a young, dynamic one-cut back that could give him a lot of issues. But Holmes just going to rainbow it to Beer Obama. Nothing though. Couple catches from Florian, but nothing too crazy. Not got a touchdown yet. That's going to bring us into the 4th. But depending on the time, I'll have like a short break between the second games, and then I'll be doing the same thing for the second games. And then switching the visual graphic between the games I'm watching, because I'll probably have it on dual screen. But of course, for you guys to look at something, I'll put like each team that I'm looking at specifically, I'll put the thing on, or I might have like 10 minutes with one and with the other. But I'm going to open another can of Pepsi because I have a crippling addiction, which is fun. 34-18 in the 4th quarter. I'm going to predict with my mystic ways that we get a touchdown inside 2 plays to make it 40. It's so funny seeing all the sponsorships for stuff I've never heard of and never will buy because I'm in England, like 28 Black and Ghazi. Never heard of any of them. Only reason I know what they are is because of the ELF, which I guess is work for their marketing. Knee braces on every single offensive lineman. That's how you know they've got a good offensive line, because every single one of them has knee braces on. I think they're going to hit Beer Bomber in a slam. Whenever Beer Bomber is lined up inside, they're trying to use him more often than not. He's such a big, physical, dominant tight end that you put him over the middle, he's going to be too big for a DB, he's going to be too fast for a linebacker. I think they go Beer Bomber. I would go Beer Bomber. I'm waiting. Not counting that. Not counting that. Traore is slowed down in the second half as well, which is a shame. Got a few catches in the first quarter. Hasn't been able to reel in anything since. That ball was quite flat though, to be fair. I'll be interested to see what Alex thinks of Ben's appearance, his debut. He's looked good. And what's he got? 2 touchdowns and a pick, I want to say. Probably about 200 yards. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. They've run it a lot, so. I think they're down at like a 1 yard line there. But they've ran it a lot. And they had those 2 Jordan Boer touchdowns, which will definitely add to it. I feel like maybe he's got more than 2 touchdowns now. I can't remember for the life of me who's got the other ones. I know Kerry's got... Has Kerry got 3? And then he got a field goal. And then 2 from Jordan. So yeah, I think he's got 2 touchdowns, a pick 6 to Rodion. And a decent amount of yardage. Oh, they're kicking it. Fourth down and goal? From like the 2, they're kicking it? That's very against the MO of this game to not go for that. But they kicked it. The kick is good. So that was 37. 37-18. Enthroners kind of slipping away a little bit in this one, it seems. Which is a shame. Handshakes is pretty fucking pissed off with himself, though. Good evening, Jamal. No one's ever called me Brezzy before. So that's new. Brez I've had before. Brezzy not so much. But I'm alright with it. 38-18. Yes, he does throw off his back foot a lot. I've noticed that too. What's your thoughts and feelings on Jamal? Give me what you've got. Because you are obviously, like me, not as much investment as someone like Alex has in this game. Good friend of ours from the Insider Podcast. That is super high on Ben Holmes. But the back foot throwing is a concern. I said in my pre-game stuff about like putting pressure on him just to see how he deals with it after his long period of time out of the game. And I think that could still be a thing. I think if you have someone that could rush with a better D line than what the Enthroners have, that off the throwing is going to be a problem. He gets hit when he's going off that back foot. That ball is going into open space. But Jack Mangle, I'm impressed. I'm sure we'll do an episode at some point when we talk about it. But Jack Mangle looks solid. Like, he looks... Okay, fuck. Oh, no. It was that close. I think he's fine. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. They need to... The fumbles. The fumbles. Such a problem. I agree. I think it will get him in massive amounts of problems against people like who the Vikings playing. So Roklaw have Jack. So Roklaw have Dusan Novanovic, who I did a whole video about how good he is and how fast he is. If he's coming off the edge against the Vienna Vikings with the talent they have at that DB core, we could see him pay for some of that, honestly. I think that what that will throw him... I mean, he's already thrown a pick six in this game. No, it was just a bit behind the intended receiver. It wasn't a back foot play, as far as I'm aware. Although, can I remember? Third and goal here has got to be a big one. Screen up to Henry. Got blasted. Henry's taking some damage today. It's been more than a passing game thus far, but we won. Defense will be solid for the Vikings season goes on. Agreed. Defense has been good. They've only allowed... They got a fumble. The other two fumbles I'm going to count more as offensive errors, but they did get one legit fumble. They've had not as much pressure as I thought they would get on Jack Mangle, like sack-wise and like finishing the actual sacks. But it's been all the run. Their offensive line is so dominant they can run. Like, Harry is going to be a guy that is competing with the best. Like, Harry could legit go over 1,000 yards. There's another flag on there, though. Lots of flags so far. I've seen that quite a lot. But Xavier and Nichols have been so good on returns. That was better than last year, for sure. Want to see more scheme creativity on offense? Yeah. I mean, you beautifully put it. Scheme variety, because so far they've got Henry Roland gone on flats, and if Henry Roland isn't down on flats, then they go into Roby, which isn't like a bad idea, but it's got, it's fourth quarter and they've not really changed it up much, so it is kind of getting predictable. Vikings second does play fast, but they got Xavier Ayers, they got Hunter Nichols, which are two of the most athletic dudes on that field at the moment. Now, we talked a little bit about Hunter earlier, just how good he is, and as soon as he did that, he got an insane hurdle. Mangle's been a lot better than expected. A lot better than expected. Hasn't thrown any picks so far, touch wood. But he's looked so good. He looked alright. And against a really good Vikings defense, I think he's played well. It's good stuff. Yeah, I do like the Mercenaries jerseys. Talked a little bit about that at halftime. Like the Mercenaries jerseys are nice. But we were saying there is, I think, no teams that aren't running with at least red or blue, or a mixture of the two. So I don't know, man. I like the Mercenaries, but I would have liked like a camo green. I thought could have been kind of cool, but I think we kind of all knew that wasn't going to happen. But Bad Bastards, that does a bunch of the like ELF graphics, probably the best graphic designer in Europe. He said about doing like an army green. I thought that would have been really nice. Mangle scrambles a lot too. Not Mangle. Holmes scrambles a lot too. Did he catch it? No, I can't read it in. How are you feeling, Jamal, about the game happening in what time is it? 5? It starts at 5. Time is now 4:30. So yeah, like half an hour. How are you feeling about that one? Because although you are a very unbiased, excellent representation of analyst groups, we all know you like the mercenaries. So, but that's fucking Traore. He was my rookie of the year pick. I told you he was damn good. He and Theo are different though. Theo's a deep threat, and like he's only kind of a deep threat. Theo's a very good deep threat, but his hands aren't the most consistent, and his route tree isn't diverse enough. Seydu has more to, I think, potential than Theo. There's Beer Bomber. I really do rate Traore that highly. He's from the Salzburg Ducks. I've known about him for years. I did a video of him of my Let's Talk Rookie Receivers, because someone on my channel years ago put about him. When I did the Marco Schneider video, someone in the comments said I should do one on Traore. So I've been meaning to do one. So I'd known about him for years through Europe's Elite. And now that he's here, I heard from camp he was doing really well, impressing a lot of coaches in the preseason. He got like a 40-yard pass earlier. Yeah, you do. I'm trying to think. Let me look on the Wikipedia at the Mercenaries roster. I am like beyond despair that we didn't get to see Leo play. Like, I really wanted to see Leo play, like desperately. I played with Leo, so I was excited to see him play with the Mercenaries. I've actually played with Mike at the D-line. I played with a lot of guys. So that Pride team, you just watch this. It's him coming out again. Barcelona experience in the back seven. Yeah, I do think Barcelona are decent. I think that Khaled is my defensive rookie of the year pick, so I think he's going to be good. I played with Khaled. Actually, the picture of me in the national anthem, I don't think I have it printed. The picture of me in the national anthem, which I use for a lot of things, Khaled is next to me. So I've known Khaled for a long time. I played with Leo. I played with Toby Naylor in Hamburg. I played with Big Mike in the Mercenaries. I played with Stephen McCluskey in the Dragons. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. I've played with a couple guys in the league, so that's pretty fun. 3rd and 2. There's Kerry again, just running business. He's going to get over 1,000 yards. So my overreaction is going to be that I'm going to, because we talked about for the the Insiders podcast, I might just do it anyways, like a weekly roundup thing of overreactions. Caleb Jones is going to get over 1,000 yards. I said last year that he was going to be impactful. He just had to split carries 3 ways, and he still was impactful. The clock's running down now, so I think we'll start to see more of the run. Enthroners going to try and make something happen, but I don't think they got much. But yeah, I was going to look at the skill position for the Mercenaries. As that pass goes incomplete. So, Anthony Brown, I haven't seen that much of Anthony Brown. Alexander, the receiver, the French player, haven't really seen much of him. Anton Karlholm, he's a good player, but I think that Theo is a better Swedish player. Also think that Anton Jali is a better Swedish player. So, you know, I'm a little bit on the fence about that one. I think they have an elite tight end. They have a lot of guys in the running back room. There we go. No, did he catch that? No, he did not catch that. A lot of guys in the running back room. But the Icelandic dude, I haven't seen too much of him either. So honestly, when I'm watching the Mercenaries team, a lot of that is going to be my first time watching some of these guys play. Got to catch that though. No, that's some of those inexperience coming in there. He's doing super well. 3rd and 10. We've seen him giving up big third downs here though. Dead ball. What's the score deficit? 19? Something like that. It's a 3-score game. 3 scores in 9 minutes is possible. It would be a Tracy Grady-esque performance. That's basketball, but points and minutes kind of situation. Not sure if they can salvage this one, but the Enthroners have got a lot of good to take away from this game. The offense looks better than I thought. Like, the run game still needs some work, but the offense looks better than I thought it would. Roby is not a skip to beat. Defensively, they've held Vienna a couple of times, and they forced a big turnover. So there are positives. More flags. More flags. There have been a lot of flags in this one, especially towards the latter end of the quarter, like the halves. So a lot of flags in the second quarter. We've seen a few flags flying. In the fourth, I think things are probably getting a little bit chippier. Tripping. I hope they don't force a score here too much. By that I mean I don't want them to like ruin Mangle's like form. Because if they start throwing bombs and, you know, stack up incompletions, maybe throw a pick, that'll not reflect they've been good this game. Hey, there's Raphael, another player I've been excited about. He's playing at running back. I told you he plays running back receiver. I told you he played running back and receiver. Oh, there's Jordan. Ah, Jordan Brewer, man. Third of the day. Third of the day. First one, outstanding. Second one, he didn't catch that ball. Third one, outstanding. There he goes, as you said. And Jihadi didn't work out last season. Yeah, Anton Jihadi's a good player. He was at, I want to say New Yorker now. New York aren't doing too good, so maybe you might see him in the future. Yeah, potentially. Is Jordan the best European receiver? Maybe. Top 3. Yeah, Antti Mohanu's in there. Jordan Brewer's in there. And I'm going to be send a bit of a flyer, but Yannick Meyer also deserves to be mentioned. Haaland also needs to be mentioned. 2-point conversion, no good. Rodion relishing in his role. I like how how flamboyant he is. When I played, I was never a celebrator, but I will kind of appreciate those who are. He did a good job to bring that out, but those safeties and linebackers need to be better. So especially still Nielsen, he's an E player. E players are going to be held to a higher standard. That's just how it is. But Rodion on Beer Bomber there. It's not an easy matchup. But he did good. Yeah, I mean playing cover 0 against a man that fast is going to be dangerous. I know he's a little older, but he's still got burners. Certainly not one to like leave in a man-on-man against a slot guy. Unless you move Rodion to the slot, and even then, still a tough matchup. Decent return up. I was saying, Jamal, I actually really love the Enthroners jerseys. Like the dark blue and the gold and white. And then the white jerseys are real nice. While we were on the Mercenaries jersey discussion. 43-18. I said 40 to 14. and the AI I think went for like a 24-21. But the AI loves Enthroners, so. With a bootleg. Oh, now that's a good play. Now that was a real nice play. I hope Roby's not down for a while. That was a stinger for sure, but nice play action rollout. Just finds him open. Maybe landed a bit awkwardly. Hopefully he's okay. He's probably gone near 100, maybe 80. He had a one rush that went for a little bit longer, so. But hopefully he's okay. Yeah, he's alright. Good stuff. And Manchester United are actually beating Man City in the cup final. Can you imagine that? I'm not a Manchester United fan, but all my friends are. I didn't expect them to win that game. I thought they were going to get pummeled. Spoilers alert, if anyone's watching the ELF over that one. But man go a lot on the centre. I think now, like they weren't at the start. But I think since they've had 2 snaps go wrong from the centre, it's a wise choice just to start playing him under there. Just stopping the turnovers. They've had 3 fumbles. We've had flags as well that have led to and the punt, they had a big punt mess up that had the Vikings start in the red zone. We had that last one that led to it. So there's been avoidable points. But also some positives to take into the next game. Who do the Vikings play next? Have a look. They're certainly going to be the favourite in most of their matchups. If they have their schedule somewhere, that'd be great. Is that another fumble? No, he just got. Oh, they call it incomplete. Close, very close. I think the Vikings have like a Instagram schedule released. Oh yeah, they do. Oh, they got the Raiders next. Grudge match. At home. At home against the Raiders. We'll see how they're looking later today. But as I've said, I think the Raiders are going to have a bit of a fall off. I do think Fulford's going to be a good player. I think Chafin could be a good player at receiver. I haven't seen a crazy amount of him. Good catch there by Neander. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Is it Nander? It's not Leander, it's Nander. And then Doth, I think, is how you say his second name. Hungarian is such a hard language. Like, I've tried to pick up bits and pieces and just how to pronounce certain names, you know, with the accents and stuff like that over the certain letters, because we don't have that in English. You know, I'm sure everyone here understands English, so I don't need to explain that. But I've been trying with like the umlauts and the accents, and then I come against Hungarian names, and I'm like, fuck. But I promise I am trying. I do like the drip though. Head cut, the flat cap, like the navy blue flat cap. I'm rocking with that. Taking carry out, smart choice. Need to risk injuries. I think keep keep everyone healthy for the next game. They don't want to come in battered and bruised against the Raiders. So they've got a backup quarterback in. They've got backup running backs in. I'd like to see Raphael more. I'm just a big Raphael fan. That's me being biased. Actually, I'm not sure if I have been in fantasy or not, but I mean, even the running game now looks solid. Like, you were seeing him break off these big runs. And he's not carry, and he's still able to break off these big runs. I think the Enthroners need to maybe reevaluate the 2 defensive lineman American system. Potentially. Because they'd be ran over. I mean, look, they so much space. That's Raphael. And, like, he's a very versatile back. I said about earlier. I'm not going to wait on too much, but he's seriously a player to look out for. Played in grass. I believe he played in grass. No, the market for interior defensive linemen now is so hard to find at this point in the year. Basically impossible to find a high-level European interior D lineman that hasn't been signed on. And then Regan is taped the fuck up on that left leg. So if he's her end, then... And he's our best defensive lineman by a country mile. No disrespect to any of them, but Jabari Regan's a fucking dog. And he's heavily taped up. Let's run down the clock now. Scene out. Oh, obviously end the stream when the final whistle goes. And then quickly transition into the next game, which will be the Vikings. No, what am I talking about? It'll be the Raiders, right? No, Barcelona Dragons and Heltvig is next up. But I'm actually really excited for that game because I think it's going to be a fun one. Because I see both of those teams are being quite comparable. I do still think, oh man, why are you doing flags now, bro? Come on. Just let the game go. Didn't have to jump off, like, do that whole thing. I would, yeah, I think that actually is going to be a back and forth game. I might be wrong on that, might be massively wrong on that. But I do think that'll be a back and forth game. I just kind of wish this game would be quicker over quicker, because otherwise I'm going to, like, miss the start of the game, which I don't really want to do. And I need to, like, get all the stuff up for the next stream, of course. Yeah, like, there was no need to reset and, like, you know, jump. I get you 1 of the yards, but you're fine. Just run the ball out. Let's see the end of this game now. 43-18. So I was not far off from my score prediction. Surprised I passed on this. Yeah, European League Football already posting all their, like, great highlight reels from this game. Didn't take them a minute, but they're doing good. Three minutes 32 seconds. Let's run this out, Vienna. You don't need to get 50. Damn, they might just get 50. Big run in on the inside. runs all day. It's been open for him. They haven't been able to stop it. Just all day. I don't think the Enthroners are going to contest this one too much. You got 9 minutes until the next game starts, local time. So I think it'll be a tight squeeze, but I think we'll be alright. And the games don't usually kick off exactly at that time anyway, so we should be alright. I'm just a bit of an OCD freak on timings. We're still up. There we go. That's what we want to see more of. But when you get into defensive linemen, you on the like rushes, you would expect a lot more production in the pass rush, and we haven't really seen that. I have 1 sack, I believe, which isn't great. You need more than 1 sack. Had a big turnover. This is going to tick over into 2-minute warning. They're in the red zone, so we might see one more Enthroners drive. Maybe. I do still feel like you should be able to reject the 2-minute warning. Because the 2-minute warning is an ad break in the NFL. That's the only reason it's there. Now, the only reason the 2-minute warning is a thing in American football is because it's a enforced ad break for the NFL. So, I feel like you should be able to say, nah, like let's just we're up by 40 points to 20, so let's just see it through. Barcelona agreed. Do have a top 3 uniform. I think the Enthroners are in there. I think the Barcelona's in there. Milan's are clean, but the Vikings are decent. I don't think they're insane. I do like the Prague ones. Again, I would have preferred if Prague were orange. Who else do I like? Paris. Paris have a really nice one. Raiders. Because I loved your video, Jamal, on the asking 100 players. The 100 different, those questions. Thought that was such a good idea. And I think that the Raiders uniforms are so clean. But the white one. A lot of people go for the black one. I love the black one too, but the white one, just with the black accessories, looks so good. Oh, I think we might miss the start of this next game. I will be very quick, rushing out of this one and into the next stream. That's for fucking sure. There's been quite a long time out. I feel like the timeouts today have been a lot longer than the usual. Maybe I'm tripping. But I feel like this timeout has been over 3 minutes. The Vikings and the Enthroners don't have a crazy amount of beef, so I kind of feel like they might run out the clock. Sometimes you see where teams don't like each other, they'll try and go for 50. Third and 8 as well. Oh, they are going to go for it. There's Raphael. Dang, you jumped. You really jumped for that. He is not going to get it. So we're probably going to get a field goal. And then we're going to get one more Enthroners run. You have a look on the multi. So that the multi-view that aren't in the other live games currently. So they haven't started the pre-game process for the other games. The Raiders are surprising. I think they're going to get... So Rodlinger is a great signing. Oh, they didn't get it on 4th down. So Rodlinger is a great signing. I think they'll move Rodlinger to tackle. I think they'll move Isaiah into guard. The Bonatti is if you're looking for fantasy pickups, Tobias Bonatti can affect you in a run, can affect you in a pass, and did very well last season, covering for Sandro when he got injured. Bonatti's super slept on. And then They have Mittendorfer in the centre, who's good. Their receivers are all kind of similar though. You know, Hand's a very aggressive blocker, but he also holds a lot. He's just, shifty. Marco Schneider, shorter, slot guy, shifty, good hands, good routes. Chafin I haven't seen too much of because tape's sometimes harder to find for the guys who've been out for a while. And defensively, good, but their offensive line I don't think is an elite level. And their defense, they lost people like Lucky. They lost... Oh no, another fumble then, nearly a safety. And they lost Nislander. Looks like they tried to take a kneel there, and even then nearly got a safety. But they're going to let this clock run down, which is good. We'll see the end of this game and the start of the next, where I will quickly transition into the next one. But I need to set it up first, because YouTube only allows you to set one stream up at a time. Yeah, so just going to run the ball, hopefully. Let's drown out this clock. Let's keep the flags in the pockets. No fucking fighting. As we get from the Peaky Blinders. Just see it through. Both teams could be quite happy with how they played, I think. I think they'll probably run this clock down. This will probably be the last play, yeah? And they're passing it. Oh, man. Why would you pass that, bro? Why would you do that? So now it's 4th down. And you're going to have to punt it with a fucking 30 seat. That was silly. I'm not a fan of that move. Not a fan of that move. See you soon. I'll be back. I don't see what the purpose of running an out like a fucking on a 4th and a 3rd and 6. I don't see what the point of that was. They've had muff punts. This might even go over their head. We might have an extension of time and even worse scoreline. I'm not a massive fan of this move. That very nearly got blocked again. Right, so now the Vikings are probably going to just take a knee. Potentially. We're coming up to 3 hours, so it's been a successful stream. Thank you everyone who's tuned in. This is literally going to end as soon as the final whistle goes, so I can jump straight into the next game. I'm pretty much live all day today. The second game will be a lot easier to watch because of the halftime stuff. Like halftime, I don't know what the fuck I do for halftime to start talking to people. Kneel it. Here we go. Right. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to end this as I know final whistle goes. I'll let the clock run down. Final score, Vienna Vikings 43, Fehérvár Enthroners 18. This was a blast. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in like 15 seconds on the next stream. Thank you. See you later. See you in a sec.